Hi gang, just a quick video of me doing my nails because boo, they look rubbish. I had some extensions on over Christmas and I may have chewed them off. Not chewed them off, no, I picked them off. I should chew them off, ew. So I'm going to start with prep. I don't think I've filmed myself doing my nails before. The reasons for that will become quite apparent. I'm starting just by pushing the cuticles back. I don't have horrendous cuticles, but I'm a bit of a stickler for prep, so I want everything off. Get it off, be gone. If you want to make a drinking game out of this video and take a shot every time I change angle of my camera, then or change rotation, then whatever you do, don't operate heavy machinery after. So I am trimming the cuticle. I know some people don't like doing this. I do. I find it quite satisfying. As I say, I like everything gone. I like it to be as immaculate as possible. Obviously, you don't cut anything live. Don't want to draw blood and cause a massacre. I'm now just using my grubby file that I keep in the drawer just for me. Just to remove anything, any debris that isn't coming off with the cuticle stick, and then giving a buff with my just as tatty buffing block. All the crappy stuff I use on myself. Don't want to waste anything nice on me. Just scrubbing off any excess, any dust, and then just neatening up any bits of sort of dry skin around it, and then I'm doing more scraping and filing. This is another voiceover done from bed, which is why I sound croaky and flat. I'm normally way more upbeat. That's a lie. Just filing the free edge, making sure the sideballs are straight. They're short. I do like my nails short, but they're shorter than I would normally have them because I had planned to do them earlier, quite a few days before, so I cut them short and then broke some, so I had to cut them even shorter. Second nail, I think I've only filmed 2 nails of prep, because if you've seen one, you've seen 10. Again, just lifting up the skin a bit, the cuticle area, with the cuticle stick, and then pulling it down so I can see the bit that's sort of dry and can do with coming off. I am releasing the grip on the nippers before pulling. It doesn't look like I am, but I am, I promise. Get that off, and then again just a gentle file. This is a really tatty, worn 240 grit. So it's not coarse, it's not doing any damage, but it's just smoothing out that cuticle area, so when you go to put the polish on, you're not going to have like a jagged line around the cuticle. And then a buff again. My battery's dying, let's plug in. Oh, I don't know where it is. So yeah, just a buff. I think there's a bit of gel left on from the extensions, which I tried to pick off, but it didn't come off. So I've got a slightly coarser file. I think it's a 100 grit, and I don't think it actually came off, and I didn't want to overfile and damage the nail plate, so it was smooth and it didn't look like it was going to lift or anything, so I just let it be. And a buff. My nails are quite oily, so I like to make sure they've had a good buff, and then get rid of any dust. There's a kitchen towel. I've got a split on each side of one of my thumbs, and then a big crease where it bent back. So I've got this powder. It's just a really cheap acrylic powder. I don't work with acrylic, I'm not trained in it. I bought this solely for this purpose. It's just a cheap one off eBay. So I'm wiping, just cleansing the nail plate. They've been prepped, and they're getting some nail glue from, what does that say? Nail Magic. It's not a fancy brand, it's just nail glue. Does the job, works fine for me. I'm putting some over the brakes and then quickly, because it does dry super quick, dipping it in the powder and then just having a tappy tap. And then I left that, just fanning it down. I just left that to dry while I prepped the other hand, and then go back to it now and give it a buff. Not too much, just so it's smoothish, and get rid of the dust. And that will hopefully hold them out until they're obviously it's not going to seal them, I think it's going to fix them. That will hold them out just till they've got to a point where I can file down to them. This index finger is missing a corner, so I just whacked on a form that I found in my drawer, don't know where it's from, and just built up the corner with some builder gel. And now I'm just cleansing. I think I decided to go and do a thin coat of builder gel over all of them, just to give them a bit of strength. Not a thick coat because they're short, so I don't want them looking bulky. So this is just some primer. I think I put too much on. I wasn't in the mood to do my nails at all, but they were just such a state that they had to be done. So I was aware when I was doing that I was putting too much primer on, but I didn't care. Just fanning that to not to cool, to dry. And then this is Canni, I think, which isn't expensive. It's a hard gel, so it won't soak off. You need to file it off. But this is quite a thin layer, so it does come off alright if you soak it when you're doing a thin layer. I do normally use the builder gel, the builder in a bottle by Gel Perfection, but I have a lot of stuff from before I made the switch to them, so I tend to use that on me just to not to let it go to waste. But I do use the Gel Perfection on clients. I'm trying to cap the free edge here, but there isn't really much of one. Getting it all over my skin. I'm not very patient when it comes to doing my own nails, so I was just kind of whacking this on. As I say, I'm not doing an overlay, it's just a thin, it's almost sort of slip layer thickness, just to give them some strength. So do that, flash cure as I go. I think I show you the second one, but I don't show you all of them. Again, if you've seen one, you've seen 10. I'm going to change positions, see if my voice isn't so deep and monotone. So yeah, it's not too thick a layer. I'm getting as close as I can to the cuticle and sideballs, but keeping it thin there so that you don't have a ridge between nail, cuticle and product. I don't like a ridge. I like it to be a nice smooth transition, so I'm sort of cushioning it up to the cuticle and then spreading it as evenly as I can out. That nail's really short. And then they will have I'm flash curing as I go, and then they'll have a full cure. So let's say I don't think I filmed the next bit. No, so they've all had some builder gel on, and I'm just filing, not too much with my super grubby file, not too much because there's not a lot on there, so I don't want to take it off, just to make sure that it's smooth around the cuticle area and sideballs. And then I'll give it a buff, possibly just refine the free edge a bit again so it's nice and straight. And then because I've done this, I don't need to use a base coat. You don't need to use a base after doing builder gel, or like with acrylics you wouldn't need to put a base coat on top of it before doing gel. I don't think, as I say, I don't go with acrylic. But we're all prepped now, so I'm going to go straight in with colour. This is Russian Roulette. Look how gorgeous it is. Nobody's had it yet, so had to try it. It's like a burgundy, winey, reddy, browny, rusty. It's lovely. It's a bit thinner than most of their polishes are, so I wasn't sure at this stage if I was going to need 3 coats or not. It wouldn't matter if I did. It's no biggie. Normally if you do a 3rd coat, it's just for any small imperfections or sort of shadows, so it can be done quite quickly. So I'm getting as close as I can around the edges and up to the cuticle area, and tapping the free edge. I knew I was going to go on the skin here, but I thought I'd rather go on the skin and wipe it off than not get a cap. And then some of the backs of the cuticle areas, some of my nails are quite narrow, so I put the brush sort of sideways like that and just use the corner to get as close as I can. I loathe like unnecessarily large gaps at the cuticle. I want it to look as fresh and new for as long as possible. It's I know it can be a bit scary, that's possibly a bit of an over-exaggeration, but it can be, okay, I'll say a bit scary to try and get really close to the cuticle, but the more you try, the more you get a feel for it and know how close you can get and how much pressure you can apply without getting it on the skin. Look, I've switched angles. Take a shot. So I just sped these up. The next lot. Again, using the side of the brush, the corner of the brush, just to get nice and close. And I think when I'm doing my own nails, I flash cure, just so it stays put and I don't ruin it. And then it will have a full cure. I think I was flash curing for like 5 seconds, and now look, the second coat, and pow, the colours just come to life, and at this point I was just so happy, so happy with the colour. It's gorgeous. So I did end up doing a 3rd coat. That's 2 coats, but I did do a 3rd coat, just a really quick 3rd coat, because of how much the colour popped when I did the 2nd. I thought, let's do a 3rd, and then I forgot to turn the camera back on when I was doing the top coat, but it's top coat, it's the same as the other layers, making sure you could get a good cap on there. Once I've done the cap, I then do another sort of couple of strokes maybe down the nail, so you don't have a line going across the bottom, and that's them done. I think they've got some cuticle oil smears on them. But that's Russian Roulette by Gel Perfection. Any questions that you have, or anything you want any help with, I'm happy to answer. But thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.